Your self-worth is your ceiling. It's your limiter. It's essentially the glass ceiling that you set for yourself that will basically stop you from getting where you want to be. This is the thing that is holding you down. This is the thing that's stopping you from going further than you are right now. It's your self-worth. It's both your floor and your ceiling. And so I would just want to share with you my findings in this, how it applies to my life, how it can apply to your life. Why, simply put, if you can work on this thing and we can start to adjust this thing and raise this thing, you will get exactly what you want. And how do I know this? Because I've seen it time and time again in my own life and even in my close friends, people who are much more successful than me. I see the exact same limitations in them. What do I mean by self-worth? It's very simple. It's how do you feel about yourself? How much confidence do you have in yourself? How much do you believe in yourself? The amount that you will get is based on the amount that you believe you deserve. In the end of the day, I've seen so many people say they want things. Oh, I want this. I want to do that. And they have these goals, right? Understand the main reason why you haven't actually achieved your goal yet is because deep down you don't believe you deserve it. We create this distance between it because you don't believe that you are capable of having it or that you deserve it. That's the real truth of the matter. So whenever people ask, or whenever I ask people, why, like, what do you want? And they tell me what they want. And I ask them, I say, well, why don't you just do it? And they'll give me this laundry list of reasons as to why they can't have what they want. They're not real reasons. They're just essentially things that we create for ourselves to create distance away from it because there's fear. There's fear in getting what you want, right? Because maybe you've gotten what you want and you don't feel that you actually deserve it. You feel this imposter syndrome. You're like, oh, did I really work hard enough for this? Or at the end of the day, that all comes down to self-worth. It's, do you believe you deserve it? And this, I think, is an example of like people who are born into like families who are encouraging, right? They're like, oh, you can do whatever you want. You can be anything, like that kind of stuff. That's why this kind of stuff matters, because these things become our limitations. And that's why oftentimes people who are born into poor families get trapped in poverty. That's why people who are rich, they have no problem getting rich and making their kids rich. Like, it's all comes down to what you believe is normal and what you believe that you deserve, right? And so I work with a lot of clients and I have friends that are millionaires. I'll also just give you an example of like seeing the self-worth thing in real time. So I was working with one of my clients and I do like content production for him, but I also do a bit of consulting and really just like springboarding ideas off of me. Like that's just half of the time. We're just talking and figuring out what we're doing, strategy, right? Well, he was charging six figures for an offer, and that was at the time the biggest offer that he'd ever done. I think maybe closer to $200,000 was the highest he'd ever charged for it. And he wanted to create a new program, and he was like, do you think we can create $1 million program? And it just seemed so far-fetched for him. But I had a conversation with him. He put it together, and he was like, yeah, I think this is it. I'm going to go pitch this guy on it. It's one of his existing clients. And so we go to do the pitch, and he calls me, and he was just like, basically like right beforehand, he was just freaking out. And I was seeing the limitation of his self-worth, of what he believed that he could charge for what he does. He was like, man, like, I don't know. There's so much money. Like you could tell he was freaking out on the inside, just as I've done for a offer that's $10,000. I've felt and acted the exact same way he did at this $1 million offer, right? And the reason why this is important is because it's like, this never goes away, by the way. This is just a ceiling that you raise. It never truly goes away. Even the rich people, they have it. It's just their number and their ceiling just is higher or looks different, right? I spoke with him beforehand, and he's like freaking out. And I was just like, dude, like, they are basically going to pay you a couple million to make them 10 million or whatever the number was, right? Like, that's really what's happening. You're not charging them anything. And he was like, oh shit, you're right. Like, he just needed like a little bit of a reframe. Well, he went and he had the call, and long story short, the guy at the end was like, yeah, the money's not a big deal. Makes sense. The guy was like, cool with it. He's like, yeah, let me talk to my partner. Cool. And he's like, oh, my reality was shattered. That's what he said to me. He's like, my reality was shattered. I was over thinking it was a lot of money, and the guy told me it wasn't even that much, and the money wasn't a big deal. And this is, of course, just all about value. This video is not about business and how to make millions of dollars, but in a roundabout way, it actually is, because if you can raise your self-worth and understand that you deserve it and that you can provide enough value to make that, then you can, right? Now, there's a kind of hidden thing in this of like, you have to provide more value than you take in order to make more, but that's another topic for another time. And so this is why Your decisions and your actions, they matter. It's not just like in a business sense. It's not just like, oh, do good work, right? It matters what you put in your mouth for food. It matters like what kind of nutrition you're eating, right? It matters what kind of stuff you're consuming. It matters how you speak to your people around you. Like all these things, they accumulate. All these things are connected. The way you show up in all these different aspects of your life changes the way you show up in your business. I'm just using business as an example, but the same thing goes for fitness as well. Like what we imagine we can achieve in terms of the physique or the athletic performance, whatever these things are, they're also limited by your self-belief. Essentially, your self-worth becomes this glass ceiling. And when people say like getting in your own way, this is what it comes down to. It's when opportunities and things start to flow your way, it's that you step aside, you go with the flow, you allow yourself to receive them, right? The faster you can come to understand this and start to take actions on raising your self-worth, the faster you will make more money, get in better shape, have better relationships, like all these things together, right? And again, I tell you this from experience. So let's talk a little bit about how do you actually raise your self-worth? How do we do this, right? Well, I'm still coming to understand it, truthfully. This isn't a step-by-step guide on how to, become the most enlightened or some shit. This is just what I've been learning so far, okay? So first off, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I think doesn't work. And what I think doesn't work is like mental games where you like look at yourself in the mirror, do affirmations and shit like that. I think the only thing that's ever actually raised my own self-worth is hard evidence that I am who I say I am. Setting goals, setting plans of action, and showing up for them, actually doing them. Building self-confidence through action. That's the only thing that's ever worked for me personally. And so one thing that I can give you an example for, and the reason why I'm such a big proponent of health and fitness is because I think health and fitness is this is an example, by the way, this is not the way, it is a way, is to improve your health and physique is one of the best ways to raise your self-worth through action, right? And why is this? Well, every time you look in the mirror, you are seeing a reflection of the habits that you hold, right? And so if you look in the mirror and you like what you see, you're like, wow, like this, I'm muscular, I'm lean, I take care of myself. Looking good will make you feel good. It will raise your self-worth. It's very, very simple. People will treat you differently. You're going to feel better. There's so many benefits, right? And this is not a ploy to teach you or to sell you on, getting fit or whatever, but this is just a direct example. Like making yourself more fit is one of the easiest ways to raise your self-worth that will help every other aspect of your life, right? What would the action of this be? Choosing a better diet that you can actually stick to long term. This is not a fitness video, but we can talk about that another time. Showing up to the gym, being healthy, going on walks, right? By doing these habits, showing up for those things, it will raise your self-worth. It will make you look better. It'll make you feel better. And all of the other aspects of your life will go up. This goes the other direction as well. By you working hard in your business and making more money, you will start to raise your self-worth that way. Money and the amount of money that you can collect, the amount of money that you can accept, which of course is a exchange of value, meaning you are giving more than you're taking, right? That is the exchange of value, very simply put. That's why money is a great barometer. The more money you make, essentially the more value you're providing, right? It's a great barometer. So any bullshit you've heard about money being evil and stuff, like I just don't fucking subscribe to that. That is not a belief that I find valuable to hold on to, and you should drop that shit too if you believe it. Money is a great example too. The more money you make, the more your self-worth goes up because you're literally showing yourself. It's like a scoreboard of how much value you're able to provide. And so the point is that if we look at all of our actions in a much more holistic way, like again, the things that we eat, but also the way that we treat our partner, if you're married or engaged or in a relationship, the way we treat our friends, things like that, the way that we show up for other people, the actions that we take, the way we control ourselves with the vices that we have, these things all affect your self-worth, and they are the limiter on getting into the shape that you want to get, making the money that you want to make. Even the limiter for accepting relationships that they should be in. There's a lot of people who are in toxic cycles of dating people they shouldn't be dating because their self-worth is low. They don't accept that they can have a real partner that actually cares about them. And newsflash, if you're watching this, there are good men and good women out there. Don't believe any of the fucking bullshit that you hear on social media about this. Yes, the world's in a bit of turmoil right now, but there are always diamonds out there. There's always gems out there. So don't believe that shit. When we show up in one area of our life, we're showing ourselves that we are capable. Because what does this really come down to? This is the real bringing it all together point. This is about building a relationship with yourself. You and yourself are separate beings. There is a relationship with the person that you see in the mirror. The person that is talking to you on this camera right now is both me, but also my human body, my physical manifestation, right? The vessel that I'm in right now, right? This is some weird, metaphysical bullshit. But like the point is you are not just you. Your body in this animal version of you, this human flesh, it's not you. It's separate. And so there is a relationship that you have between you and yourself. And the question that I always like to ask people that I think really changes their mindset a little bit is, if you treated your friends the way that you treat yourself, would you still be friends with them? Would you still talk to them? And the answer for most people is no. And if you can shift that to a point where you are showing yourself that you care and love yourself, you will get everything that you want, truly everything that you want, when you do things that will make your future self look back with gratitude. That is the unlock right there. It's about building a strong bond and a relationship with yourself. And I think in some ways, I'm not a religious person, but I think it's the way to truly have a connection with God in a sense. I should have gotten to this point earlier, but to be honest, this is a bit of a ramble that I didn't plan too much. This is about building trust with yourself. Confidence isn't just about puffing up your chest and feeling better than everyone. It's about having a track record of things that you've done that show that you're who you say you actually are. And that is something that you can't get through self-help books or through fucking, affirmations or meditations. All those things are fine. But to be honest with you, it comes down to like doing the work, doing the things, showing up for yourself. And part of that is the reason why I'm here making this video, because I've told myself I want to make videos. And I haven't done that. And that is something that has hurt my self-worth, because I've told myself I wanted to do it for years. I haven't done it. And so I'm practicing what I preach, I guess, to be here sharing this with you. But this has been one of the biggest unlocks that I've realized. And it's something that I've known for years, but I haven't really come to a kind of ability to articulate it until now. And I had this conversation with my millionaire friend about the same exact thing, and he couldn't agree more. He was like, wow, yeah, this is, there's some sauce here. Like, there's really something here. And so as we have a conversation more and we unravel this, we work to become better versions of ourselves. We're raising our ceiling, we're raising our standards, raising our floor, what we accept. As I've raised my self-worth, I make more money. As I've raised my self-worth, I get in better shape. As I get in better shape, I raise my self-worth. You see, these things are all extremely connected. Very virtuous cycle. So what is my takeaway from this? What can you do? Honestly, I think very simply, just sit down and ask yourself what you really want. Really just take the time to ask what it is that you actually want. Take some action plans, put some action plans together, and start today. Don't wait till tomorrow to start. Stop putting your dreams and your goals on the fucking back burner. Because whatever you're doing right now, assuming that you're unhappy with it or that you don't want to be doing it anymore, you're just wasting your time. You're burning through the very, very precious time that we have. We have a very limited amount of time. You will fucking die. And even if you believe in an afterlife, it will never be the version of reality that you have now. You will not hold on to the memory of this life, right? I think everyone can agree with that. I've talked to religious people, people who believe in reincarnation, people who don't believe in anything. You will never hold on to this physical reality ever again, anywhere else. You'll never hold on to it. This time we have is finite. The finite nature of life is what gives it value. It's time to fucking live. It's time to do what you want to do. Because someday you're going to be laying there on your deathbed, the last seconds of your life. And I think the only thing that we're going to truly care about is, did we try? Did we give it our all? I think it's the only thing that truly matters. And I don't know about you, but the answer to that being no scares me more than any possible failure that I could run into. That's it.